Black Panther is going to be released today on Veve. So in this episode of Inside the Vault, we're going to look at the background of this character, its popularity, my own market strategy, as well as a price prediction for what I believe these are going to be at on day one coming into day two. So let's get started. Welcome in everyone, my name is Andy and I appreciate you taking some time out your day to come and watch this video on the channel. Just before we get going, if you are enjoying the content and you want to support me further, you can hit that subscribe button, and if you want to support me further than that, you can join the membership. Alright, we have Black Panther coming today and I'm really excited about it. Black Panther was one of my favourite Marvel movies and continues to be one of my favourite Marvel movies. Don't currently have gems to actually get these. I'm thinking about getting some in order to get this Black Panther set because wow, it is really cool and I really do love the movie, so it's going to be interesting. But we're going to look a little bit behind the scenes of the character first and foremost to see its popularity and try to gain a better understanding of what he is. The Black Panther was released in 2018 and the main character, Chadwick Boseman, unfortunately passed away due to cancer as of recent years, and seeing him be able to act in that film whilst going through the process of dealing with this horrible disease, it really is something that resonates with me quite a lot and has been a part of my family before when it comes to that sort of stuff. So seeing him being able to push through that and also create a film that is so culturally diverse and really shows off the true nature of what Marvel are aiming for is really incredible, and a film I loved and adored to watch. Now, this film had incredible reviews and actually was able to score 1.4 million at the box office, as well as before the movie was actually released, critics on Rotten Tomatoes gave it 100% and is currently sitting at 96% for that. It really does go to show how much this film was loved by so many people and how important and significant this was in the Marvel universe for what it was. In a Time article, it was also shown how important the Black Panther was as a whole, with a quote of, "It's a movie about what it means to be black, both in America and Africa, and more broadly in the world. Rather than dodge complicated themes about race and identity, the film grapples head on with the issues affecting modern day black life. It is also incredibly entertaining, filled with timely comedy, sharply choreographed action, and gorgeously lit people of all colours." So to me, this really does go to show how important of a movie this was, not only for Marvel themselves, but just in general. Having the lead in roles, really diving into the race and identity of these characters is something that went incredibly well, not only in the box office, but just in general with the way people talked about it and continue to discuss it to this day. We also have a Black Panther 2 coming out, if I'm not mistaken. We've not got a date as of yet. Again, it'll be great to see the second edition of this series, as the first one truly was something and one of my favourites in the Marvel universe. One of the things that I found interesting was the ratings that people put Black Panther. So I've got a few different things that went into who rated Black Panther and for what reasons. IGN voted Black Panther at the top 51st of top 100 comic book heroes. You can also see on Ranker here that Black Panther is actually 9th, just behind Hulk, Doctor Strange and Deadpool. Now here you can see that within the lifetime gross, Black Panther was actually able to get 700 million, ranking 3rd on Marvel's comic with the brand. And when we go to the list of highest grossing superhero films of all time, Black Panther still comes in at 6th, with Avengers taking most of the shot and Spider-Man with the other. Now it's not surprising to me that Spider-Man and Avengers were the ones that are maybe higher than this. It does make sense purely because we had so many people within these movies. There was a lot more characters involved, and T'Challa and the rest of the cast from Black Panther is actually involved in Avengers as well. So it's no wonder that these probably hit higher when it comes to just worldwide gross, but it really is incredible to see that this film done so well, not only in the box office, but for critics, reviewers, and just the general public too. Let's have a look at the article then, and we can see what we can find in regards to the background of this, how it's looking, what we're predicting, and we're going to look at our price predictions for all of these sets that are coming out today. For Black Panther, of course, we have the generation that followed the Black Panther, a superior warrior granted extra abilities by the Panther god upon proving himself or herself worthy in combat tournament, open to all Wakandans. This series is going to have 5 different Black Panthers, and it will be in blind box format. Now, they're going to cost 50 gems, I believe, and we're also seeing it's 21,800 editions. Now, compared to the likes of Deadpool and Storm and Invisible Woman, the Black Panther does have a little bit more editions. Storm has around 16,500. I think common Deadpool had 18,600, something along those lines. More editions, again, isn't a bad thing. We're having more people coming on this platform Obviously, Veve are trying to establish which is the best route for them, and they're also in talks with Marvel with this, so there's always a back and forth in regards to what the additions are going to be. But 21,800 for me isn't a bad thing at all, and actually I'm really hoping I've managed to pick one of these up. I've not had a drop since mid-January. That was the last drop I got, and I believe it was a comic book, so I'm hoping that I'm able to maybe get one of these, as this is actually a set I would really love to have and complete once I manage to get some more gems. Design on this as well is beautiful. I honestly love the design with this. Feel this is going to go down really well. So my price prediction for the common when it comes to what it will sit at is something maybe between 110 and 150. I'm comparing this to the likes of Storm, Invisible Woman, Deadpool, ones that are in a similar sort of area, and probably something like Captain America, but we might look at the marketplace after we've done some of our guesses just in regards to what they sat at when they originally released to see if we can come up with a better answer. I reckon that will change over time, but as of right now, we're still on a little bit of a slope when it comes to the marketplace. We did take quite a good bounce back yesterday, and I believe we're now going to rise a little bit further, and I do think that this will be quite popular, so I do see it actually getting further than that over a longer period of time. But in the beginning, I think it is going to be quite volatile. I think it is going to move quite quickly, and it could even go below that or way higher than that, depending on the additions that are released in the time frame. Now we'll move on to the uncommon with 18,800 additions. There's not that much of a lore when it comes to the additions, but this one looks really cool. Again, I think we're going to follow the same format when it comes to the uncommon being less popular than the common. However, the pose with this is awesome. So I'm going to say something between around 90 and 130. I do think this one will actually stay relatively close to the common and might actually be higher than the common at some points because of the pose. Because if we look back at the common, pose is incredible. Obviously, we've got the Wakanda Forever pose, so I do think this is quite significant when it comes to that. I'm going to say roughly between 90 and 130, something along those lines anyway. When we get to the rare, we've got again another awesome pose, and I've guessed between 160 and 200 for this. There's a massive dip in additions when it comes to the rares, going from 18,800 to 8,800. It's not to say that 8,800 still isn't quite a lot, and I understand it still is maybe a little bit more additions than some others we've saw, but 8,800 additions is quite a drop from the 18,800, and I've guessed between 160 to 200 in the beginning. Again, I do think this will rise higher. I think this is going to be very popular, but we've also got to take into consideration Black History Month still isn't over, and I do believe we're going to see something quite big at the end of the month as well. Some people are talking about Miles Morales as an actual Spider-Man character, and we know Spider-Man is the most popular superhero character in the world. If something big is to come on Saturday or towards the end of the month, then we may see quite a big sell-off with this before rising. But for a long-term play when it comes to it, I think it's awesome. And in general, Black Panther is one of those ones I would hold no matter what happens. I really love the character, I really love the movies, and this design is just top scale. It really is. I'm getting excited just talking about it right here. So when we come on to the animated one, we have 5,800 additions for the ultra rare. Now I'm going to show you the video of the ultra rare and the secret rare for what they are doing. You can see the animations here, and that's what they're going to be hosting or going to be doing anyway when it comes to that. So the ultra rare does have 5,800 additions. That's what we're going to be seeing. He does the backflip and lands in the superhero pose, and it is really just, it's so cool. It really is so cool. There's 5,800 additions. I've guessed around 550 to 700 for this. Again, it's going to be quite hard. 5,800 additions is quite a lot. And what we also always have to take into consideration, and the amount that's actually given out by the time the market opens, because if there's only 10% of the supply given out, the price is going to stay higher for a longer time. If we have 50% of the supply when the market comes out, then it's going to be lower, and it will lower quicker because there'll be more flippers. Finally, we have the secret rare, 2,800 additions, a lot higher than we often see when it comes to secret rares. Deadpool and all that had 1,500, Storm, Invisible Woman, they were all roughly the same. So 2,800 is a lot higher, but I would say it's going to sit at around 2k, around that price point. Again, I do think that will rise over time to what Captain America's secret rare sitting at, but we're going to discuss the market a little bit further when it comes to it. If some of you have been watching the market for the last month, you know we reached all-time highs in mid-January, and we actually went a lot lower in this month, and that's just because of retractions. That's what happens. But I am starting to see a bounce back with a lot of the collectibles, especially the more sought after ones. My vault valuation has significantly went up since last night, so it does seem that there's been some form of bounce back, which actually could be a really good sign for Black Panther Panther, purely because people are now buying in, there's smart buyers coming in, more people are actually willing to spend their gems as they believe we may have reached some form of low in the market. It's not to say it won't reach this low again or it will go even lower than this. It's just to say it seems that's what's been the case. If we do look at Captain America's secret there, this wasn't actually his FA, and it's still sitting at around 2,900 gems with an all-time high of about 7,000. Now, my estimation for the secret there could actually be a little bit too low, and maybe we're seeing something between 2 and 3k when it comes to this. Now, Captain America has been out for a little bit longer. There's only 45 listings and there was only 1,000 least for him. So there's nearly 3 times the supply of Black Panther. But then again, we've got to think about just the meaning behind Black Panther, the significance of him, the movie coming out, and so much more. So there's quite a lot to it. So I'm going to say something between 2 and 3,000 is what I believe this will sit at. I think it will start quite high, drop quite quickly depending on the additions that are released, and then we'll see from there. My market strategy with this is to actually pick them up. I'm not going to pick them up right away, as I do believe they will drop over time. Just like usual, there'll be a dip at the start, it will rise up over time. I think it will take a nice retraction over the next coming weeks, and I'll be able to pick them up there, and that's when I'm aiming to get them anyway. Just like anything, the best deals you're most likely going to find are right as soon as the market opens. It's where the people sell the things for probably lower than they should. You can get some good deals on good mint numbers. So depending on what you're looking for, I would recommend trying to go for the really good mints as the market opens. But if you're someone like me who's playing the long game here, you can be patient, wait a couple of weeks, and you might see some good prices that you're all right buying in at. What's your market strategy when it comes to the Black Panther? Are you going to go for them all, or are you kind of passing on this one to see what else they release for the end of the month? Be sure to let me know down below. I know the video on the screen right now will be something you'll love to watch. Have a fantastic day.